Okay. Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler long I stood, and looked down as far as I could to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, as just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear. So as that the passing there had warned them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay, in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept first for another day. Yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Summer ages and ages hence, two roads diverged with an eye. I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Robert Frost, The Road Not Taken. I first read this poem when I was 9. 9 is not an age when you know much about yourself nor about the world in general. Not much did I know about this poem, but I liked the way it rhymed and the word choice, and the fact that I couldn't grasp its meaning entirely, even though I knew it meant something more important, yet something that I, at such a young age, couldn't fully comprehend. So I kept it close to my heart as an amulet to which I would later return to, reading it over and over again, deciphering it word by word, rhyme by rhyme, literary device by literary device, until I cracked the code. When was the last time you took a difficult decision? And as I stand here right now in front of you, I remember so vividly the first time I encountered failure. And it was not, as one would tend to describe the emotion, anger and angst filling the body. It was not even bittersweet, but it was something that I hadn't felt until then. It taught me who I was and who I wanted to become. I was in kindergarten, no older than 5, and we were rehearsing for a sort of a show, the kind of celebration where kindergarten children recite poems or sing in front of their beloved parents. The educator had asked me to learn a poem by heart. It was a very well written piece, a stirring prayer, if I remember it correctly. And I said yes. Still, I struggled. There was a couple of lines that I couldn't memorize. I still visualize myself today, a 5-year-old child, rehearsing in front of the mirror, but stuttering when those lines came up. So I gave up. And yes, I still regret it to this day. And the educator went on and asked another kid to recite at the celebration. And he nailed it. I remember standing on the stage alongside my fellow mates, watching this boy flawlessly say the prayer, including those lines that had been a problem for me. Yet, I would have been in his place had I worked harder and with much more determination. That was the road I did not take. 10 years later, two paths lied again ahead of me, one more tempting than the other. I knew well that the first one would challenge me, would have me work hard and put in the effort. Yet, the other one would be easier. At first, I was indecisive, wavering and questioning and doubting my ability to make a choice. A hard one, for sure. But I wanted to see myself grow. I wanted to challenge myself to be better. So I knew which road I had to take. It is with this mentality that my freshman self approached high school. And when it was time to decide whether or not I was to follow a more philological profile instead of a more STEM-oriented one, I didn't hesitate. I was already good at philology subjects, but I recognized sciences as more challenging and as means of developing my understanding and reasoning. Crucial skills I would later need in life. So I chose the challenge. When was the last time you chose the difficult path? We are often told that if something doesn't challenge us, it doesn't change us. And for a very long time, I kept on returning to this thing the same way I kept on returning to my amulet, Robert Frost's poem. At first, I was unaware of the connection between the two, still trying to fully grasp their meaning, too unattentive to even notice that there was a link. But then I felt it on my skin, the feeling of accomplishment every time I chose to do something difficult, the satisfaction, the personal growth, the confidence. So I asked myself why. I kept on wondering that for a while. What is it so special about the tough decision that shapes us so much? Why are we so transformed by a road that only a few take? And why does such a decision make all the difference? First of all, whenever our decision-making system is activated, memory plays a very important role. For instance, bad memories help us avoid making the same mistakes all over again, whereas good memories or implications of a possible reward might influence us otherwise. If we choose just once, let's say, the most challenging thing out of many others, the one that scares us the most, and we succeed, we become someone else. We reshape ourselves. We become confident in ourselves. We evolve. We gain new skills. Yes, I know, big words. Of course, there is also the risk of failure, but this shouldn't stop us from trying. We acknowledge the reward, we see the results, and that further motivates us to keep on going and to be better. And that has made all the difference. I have also conducted a study and have asked a few key questions to a handful of very successful people of all ages from multiple domains. And the thing that they all had in common, the thing that united them, was that at least at one point in their lives, they have all made a hard decision. And that says something about them. That says something about them as individuals, as successful people of our society. So choose wisely if you want to be successful. That's one important lesson I have to learn. And I know for sure that that will make all the difference. Thank you.